Hello everyone, I'm Dion from DionVideoProductions. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Apple's leather case for the iPhone. Let's get started. Alright, so for my iPhone 10, as you can see here, I've been using Apple's iPhone XS leather case for the past 12 months. In this video, we're going to be taking a closer look at the case itself, and then we're going to be talking about how it's held up over time and answering that crucial question of whether it's worth your money. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so I've been using the iPhone 10 as my day-to-day phone for just over 2 years now, and I can say that the phone itself has held up really great. This is actually my personal phone, and for work I use an iPhone 11. If you haven't seen my unboxing video of that, I'll be sure to leave that linked below. But generally speaking, no matter the phone, I only use cases or screen protectors out of necessity, not because I really want to. And a big reason for that is that I've always felt cases either take away from the phone's design or simply make the phone feel cheap and unpleasant to use in the hand. But then of course, compared to the high repair cost of a cracked screen or particularly a cracked back, I end up using them out of necessity. However, Apple's leather case is actually the first case that's really changed my mind on this. This is the first case that I can genuinely say that I use with joy and don't feel the need to take off or remove. So to start off, I'm just going to show you a quick unboxing experience. Now I've went ahead and put the case back in the box just to show you what it would look like if you were to purchase this. So this is what the packaging looks like. As you can see, we have the case listed here on the front, and then on the back there we have the description. So you'll see that this is actually the model for the iPhone XS, and the reason is when I purchased this case, the model for the iPhone X was no longer manufactured, so this was my only choice to buy. This generally fits well on the iPhone X, however the camera unit is just a little bit larger on the XS, so won't align as smoothly, but definitely does the job and doesn't affect the functionality of the case. So we're going to go ahead and slide it off here from the bottom. And as you can see, that will reveal the case itself, and we can go ahead and lift this out. And that's it for the packaging. Inside of the box here, we have a quick instruction for how to apply the case. Start off with the top of the phone, and then we're going to align that along with the top of the case, and then push in either side. Start with the left here, and then we'll go in from the right, and then it will snap into place perfectly. As you'd expect, a case made by Apple for Apple's iPhone fits very well and clicks into place nicely. And this is how the case looks on the phone. As you can see, this already looks great. Now, over the past years, I've used many different cases for my phone, from silicone cases, plastic, clear cases, you name it. And as I mentioned earlier, this case really is the first case where I genuinely feel it adds to the quality of the phone, and does so in several ways. First of all, the leather texture feels great in the hand, but actually also provides a pretty decent grip when using your phone. You combine this feel with the weight of the stainless steel band and the glass on the phone, it really creates a very premium feeling package every time you pick up your phone. Now, Apple's latest leather cases for the iPhone 12 line actually come in different colors. So they will come in yellow, blue, brown, red, and black. Personally, I chose the black color, and the reason for that is it will not patina over time like the other colors would, in which the texture as well as the color of the leather will change as it ages. Now, some people may prefer this as it definitely gives your case a unique look. However, personally, I prefer my leather to look as new as possible, so therefore got the black. So now let's get to that crucial question of how the case has held up over the past 12 months. And I'm pleased to say that overall, I think it's held up great. With frequent day-to-day use, I only have a few minor marks just on the corners of the case, and these actually occurred when dropping the phone from waist height onto a wooden floor, something I wouldn't recommend. But even with that in mind, it's actually held up really well and taken very minimal damage in my opinion. On the other hand, smaller marks, for example, caused by having a set of keys in the same pocket as your phone, will leave little lines on the leather. However, these will actually rub away over time. This is one of the benefits of using a natural material such as the leather. When closely inspecting the case, there was one thing that definitely caught my eye, and that is a little mark that I have right by the Apple logo. At first, I wasn't sure why this was there, especially because the Apple logo is slightly pushed into the case, which adds a nice little texture, and I thought this is raised from other surfaces, so I wasn't sure why this mark started to appear, until I realized that when holding the case, this is exactly where my index finger rests every time I pick up and use the case. My theory is that over time, the continuous rubbing on this very specific area of the case has caused the leather to wear slightly, and as you can see, has created a slight shine to the texture that isn't present on other parts of the case. But honestly, these are very small complaints. They're barely noticeable, and by no means will they impact the actual functionality of the case. Taking a look at the inside of the case, you'll see that we have a microfiber lining that actually sits through the entire back of the case. Now this is particularly great if you find yourself switching your cases, often taking your phone in and out, as this will make it much harder to scratch your phone, particularly those stainless steel sides on the iPhone 10 or current Pro models. All in all, I found this leather case from Apple to hold up very well over time, especially compared to its silicone case. I actually happen to have one. When I first bought my iPhone 10, I used this silicone case from Apple, and you're probably wondering what happened to it and why does it look like this? Well, it actually started off very simple. What happened was I started to get a small tear in the silicone layer of the case in the bottom right corner. Gradually, over time, more and more of the silicone started to tear away until I was actually left with this. And this is obviously by no means acceptable, especially because the case was only 7 months old when the tearing started. After doing some research online, I found that this is actually quite a common problem for the silicone cases from Apple, and appears to still be happening even in the newer models of the silicone case. Thankfully, I haven't had anything like this with the leather case. Now in my pocket, I typically carry two things, my phone as well as my wallet. And this is actually the wallet I've been using every day for just over 3 years now. And if we take a closer look at the wallet, you'll see that this actually shows pretty much no signs of wear. Now, both of these are made of leather, but of course it is important to know that the wallet does in this case cost significantly more than the case. But the reason I'm comparing the two is to show that the iPhone leather case, while I think it's held up well over time, does not hold up as well as, say, a leather wallet. And the reason for that is I think the leather on a typical wallet is much thicker than what you'd find on the Apple case. Now, the leather case actually is relatively thin in profile. This will actually add minimal bulk to your phone, which is of course very good to have. That will result, however, in a thinner layer of leather and therefore will be more susceptible to wear, for example, compared to a leather wallet, which will have a much thicker layer. So with that, I just wanted to compare how the leather case is held up to, say, a leather wallet. Who is this case for? Well, I bought the iPhone XS leather case for $49 US. If you want to buy Apple's leather case for the iPhone 12 or the current line of iPhones, it will cost $59 US. This is definitely a lot to spend on a case. If you're looking for pure functionality, I recommend getting just a simple silicone or plastic case off Amazon, for example, for $10, as this will serve the practical purpose of protecting your phone from day-to-day wear and tear. However, if you're looking for a case that preserves and in some ways adds to the quality of your phone, then I highly recommend Apple's leather case. The natural texture of the leather and of course that everlasting leather smell just screams luxury. And in my experience, after a year of day-to-day use, I think it's held up very well. And at this rate, I expect it to last for at least another year. Thank you for watching.